Hey friends, and welcome to our children's Bible story time. Today we have a brand new book to read together, and it's called If Jesus Came to My House. Now this book is all about what it would be like if Jesus could come to our house and be the same age as us and maybe play with our toys or walk through our garden. And what it's all about is even though Jesus isn't really going to come to our house and be the same age as us, we can still show Jesus how much we love him and be kind and share with Jesus by doing those things for other people. So for example, when you make a card and send it to somebody who's sick, you're showing them love, and you're also showing Jesus how much you love him by serving someone else. So let's read our book together. It's called If Jesus Came to My House, and it's written by Joan Gale Thomas. If Jesus came to my house and knocked upon the door, I'm sure I'd be more happy than I'd ever been before. If Jesus came to my house, I'd like him best to be about the age that I am and about the height of me. I'd run downstairs to meet him, the door I'd open wide, and I would say to Jesus, "Oh, won't you come inside?" I'd offer him my rocking chair, it's such a comfy seat, and at the pleasant fireplace he'd warm his little feet. My kitten and my puppy dog would sit beside his chair, and they would be as pleased as I at seeing Jesus there. Then I would put the kettle on to make a cup of tea, and we would be as happy and as friendly as could be. And look right here, you see the little cat and a little puppy dog. I'd show him all the places that are nicest in the house, the hole behind the stairs where I pretend that I'm a mouse, the little window up above where I can stand and see the people passing down below, and yet they can't see me. And then I think I'd show him the corner in the hall where I'm sometimes rather frightened by the shadows on the wall. I always have to hurry when I'm going past at night, but hand in hand with Jesus, I'd be perfectly all right. I'd show him around the garden and ask him please to bless the seeds that I have planted, the peas and watercress. And if the flowers I'd planted were blooming on that day, I'd pick a bunch of all the best for him to take away. Tongue-tied. Then while he held the basket, I would gather 2 or 3 of the ripest rosy apples from my special apple tree. And all the little birds would come and twitter up above for joy at seeing Jesus in the garden that they love. And then we'd play with all my toys, my nicest toys of course, and he should have the longest ride upon my rocking horse. And with my bricks I'd build for him a palace of his own. He should be the little king and sit upon the throne. And when we'd done, we'd stack the toys all neatly on the shelf. But first, I'd let him choose the best and keep it for himself. And when at last the day was done and shadows crossed the sky, I'd see him to the garden gate, and there we'd say goodbye. And he'd perhaps say thank you for a lovely afternoon. And I would say, I do so hope you'll come back very soon. And then he'd smile and wave goodbye, and so would end our day. But all the house would seem to smile because he'd been our way. I know the little Jesus can never call on me in the way that I've imagined, like coming in to tea. But I can go to his house and kneel and say a prayer, and I can sing and worship him and talk with him in there. And though he may not occupy my cozy rocking chair, a lot of other people would be happy sitting there. And I can make him welcome, as he himself has said, by doing all I would for him for other folks instead. And though the house is dark at night with shadows on the wall, I never need be frightened when I'm going through the hall. Although I cannot see him, I still can feel him near, to understand and hold my hand and drive away my fear. The flowers in my garden he may not pick himself, but someone else would like them upon their mantel shelf. So if I know of anyone who's old or ill or sad, I'll take them there for Jesus' sake and help to make them glad. I still can share with Jesus the nicest of my toys by lending them or giving them to poorer girls and boys. And though he may not visit me as I have wished he would, yet even so he'll bless my house if I am kind and good. And that's the end of our story called If Jesus Came to My House. So this week, whenever you're being nice to your brother or your sister, or you're sharing your toys with someone, or maybe you send a card to someone who's sick, you're showing love to Jesus by showing love to those people. And that's what this book is all about, that even though Jesus isn't physically going to come to our house, we can still share our love for him by being kind and showing love to others. Thank you so much for joining me this week in our Children's Bible Story Time. I can't wait to be back with you next week with a new story for us to read together. Hope that you have a great week, and I'll see you then. Bye, friends.